And just as a forewarning, I did make a mistake here for the sales volume. I know I'm putting this at the beginning of the episode, but thank you so much for watching. Appreciate that. I will say that it is 2.5 billion, I believe is the number, not 2.5 million, which definitely makes the numbers make a lot more sense instead of like selling 5 or 6 homes for the month. So, yeah, I just want to be completely clear. Enjoy the episode. And thanks for hanging out, Dan.
Not a problem. We'll talk soon. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Invest in Denver podcast. We are back at you guys again with another market update. We're going to be covering the month of March here. Ian, what's up, buddy? How you been?
What's up, my dude? Dude, I'm freaking stoked. Things are heating up literally and figuratively on the Denver market, man. It's what is it, like 85 degrees outside? What the F?
Yes, we are back to shorts and t-shirts weather.
I will say that I'm mostly stoked for my sandal situation. They were getting cobwebs. I have these like these sandals that I have. They're like the what do you call it? The thong sandals, flip-flops, right? And but they have this like roll to it, you know? It's almost like it encourages that like forward momentum, which totally eases my walkability. It's like I put a minimal effort and just let momentum
You're
take its
aging
ride.
yourself right now, potentially.
I'm a runner, man. Whatever.
True, true. No, you gotta keep your posture up. How you been though?
That's right.
It's been a little bit since we chatted.
Yeah, no
You
joke,
doing some
dude.
traveling?
I came back from SoCal. I was there for about a week, chilling in San Diego. I got to see some ADUs that my cousins were building. And man, I cannot wait to have that implemented here in the Denver area, man. It's like, I know with Governor Polis trying to do more affordable housing, more housing in general, trying to get rid of single family residences, at least at zoning. It's a lot of it is just paving the way for ADUs, and I'm really excited for it. And for those of you that are more interested in it, I'd love to talk more about it. As far as ADUs, to be more specific, it's called accessory dwelling units, mother-in-law suites. Sometimes people build them in the backyard or convert their garage to these ADUs. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I want to build in almost all my properties. So that's the exciting part.
Yeah, I mean, we forgot to talk about this before we hit record here, but Boulder actually has a big proposition coming up. I don't have all the specifics on it. I just was at a meetup chatting with a property manager here in Boulder, and yeah, they're passing some laws to like super open up ADU building in Boulder, which is going to be huge to help with obviously the
Dude.
crazy prices.
Yeah, no joke. I know with Boulder too, it's kind of ish landlocked. You know, you still got the 36 and like going up to Longmont too. It's sort of like branches off that way, but you're like on the mountain front, you know, like you're on the front range, so you really can't build more into the mountains. So any sort of ADUs, and especially with the college town over there, it's like they want
They have
more
to do something.
housing.
You
Period.
need more
Yeah,
housing. Like literally, there's regardless of the prices, everything like there's just not enough.
yeah,
There's not enough space for people.
yeah.
So
Hundred,
if they want to keep
hundred
the
P, dude.
population going, let's figure out some laws that work on both ends and make sure it's fair all around.
Most def. Yeah, and like going from San Diego to LA, I went to this convention in WealthCon. Sounds kind of cheesy, but Ryan Panetta, he's a real estate investor, influencer, all that good stuff. I love following his stuff, but he's doing some massive moves, and it's crazy too. Like one thing that I found pretty interesting is that so tickets for that place, I got them for free, which is a different conversation, but like three
Nice.
thousand
What's
dollars per
what'd you do?
ticket.
What'd you do to get free tickets for that?
What did you do? Who do you know?
Yeah.
No, I guess, yeah, like I said, separate conversation, but to keep it simply put, I invested in his NFT. So it's the only NFT that has so far been successful in my book. So I'm not much of a crypto guy, but yeah, this NFT has actually been providing a lot of value for me. And yeah, free tickets to it. I got to meet him in person. It was really cool. But yeah, the one thing that really stuck out to me was that they really pushed social media branding and content. And they even had people on there like speakers, presenters talking about like how to go viral, how to develop your brand online, what to talk about and things like that. and there were no business cards ever exchanged. I met like 30 people, had a good conversation with like 30-ish people. They all asked for my Instagram profile. They wanted nothing else. Like they didn't want my phone number, they didn't want my email address. They just wanted like, hey, what's your content like and who are you as a brand? So I thought that was super interesting, right?
Well, if there's anybody that's going to do it, it's going to be you that's coming up. I'm serious. If
I
you haven't
want you
checked
on
out
there,
Ian's
man.
content, like, I mean, obviously you've helped me a lot getting my stuff built up a little bit, but yeah, you're by far the best in Denver of anybody out there putting content out. So if you're not following Ian,
Dude.
definitely check him out.
Damn. Wow. Best wingman ever. 10 out of
I
10.
mean, you got my best friend in Minnesota following you that has nothing to do with Denver market, and he's texting me like almost more than he talks to me. Like, yeah, Ian's content, you gotta check it out. It's like,
At that
I
point,
see it, bro. We're actually friends here.
yeah, he's like not even talking about your content. He's just talking about mine. Yeah, that's good shit. I know Boone's a good guy, but yeah, anywho, like the whole LA San Diego situation came back, definitely revitalized, got a fire lit under me, so I'm really excited for it. But speaking of having a good time, man, I know you went golfing for the first time. Is it the first time this year? Yeah?
No, it's been a couple rounds now, and this is disc
Yeah?
golfing, by the way, not ball
Oh,
golf.
oh.
Yeah, I do ball golf as well, but I actually
Yeah.
kind of made a commitment to myself to get back into the competitive side of disc golf this year. I used to play collegiate and a lot, and then when I started this business, like, kind of went in the back door. So signed back up, getting all my memberships renewed, and yeah, so I'm pumped
What?
to be
Wait, what kind of
outside.
memberships? What kind of memberships do you need? Like for the ranges, like for the courses?
No, so like to compete, it's Professional Disc Golf Association, so
Oh shit!
um, there's like rankings involved and just supporting the community through memberships,
Yeah,
just like you would with ball golf.
yeah,
Typically, you don't have to pay for most courses, but it's just part of being the committing to the community, and then
yeah.
when you pay those dues, you end up showing up more for tournaments and stuff like that.
That's right. I see that Innova hat, representing already. Brand deal sponsorship right there, baby. Well, sick, man. I think enough of us. Let's bring it out to the general public. Here we are in April. This will be released what, 4/14, April 14th. So if we are talking about the market, it would be as of March 1st through March 31st. So just to let you guys know, it's not currently like completely up to date, but as accurate as possible and as recent as possible. So with that being said, lots to talk about here, and things like I mentioned are heating up, literally and figuratively within the Denver market. So with that being said, first stat that I'd like to go over is the active listings at month's end. So here we are at 4,516, which month over month has increased about 20%, and year over year, over 100% increase from April of 2022, which I know at that time, it was insane. I mean, this was sort of like at the tail end of that insane market where we were putting in like 10, 15 offers before something gets accepted, or like we would have to compete with other 10, 15 offers just to get something landed, right? And then that was during the time where like 3, 4-ish% interest rates were aplenty, and a lot of people were trying to hound for that home with that solid low interest rate. So I don't know, like that active listings at month's end, it says it's increased 20% month over month, but are you seeing that, Dan? I don't know about you, but I'm not really seeing it.
I mean, I am a big numbers guy, so like I mean, obviously I trust the stats and they are accurate, but no, like I don't feel it. Like I have
Yeah.
some buyers out there, and it's just like, especially if you have a specific area or specific size, property that you're looking for, it's tricky. I mean,
Yeah.
still, it's only 4,500 listings
Yeah.
active last month, and that's just not enough. We should be at like 13,000 would be the national or would be the average here for Colorado, of
Yeah.
pretty healthy. And I would like to see like imagine 30,000 active listings or something like that within the greater Denver metro. We would be like,
Yeah.
people would be getting what they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, while it is up, it still feels stressful and hard for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know where these houses are popping up. Maybe it's not within the areas that we're actually shopping for, but I agree that it's it's weird to see things like increase as far as active listings, and maybe that specific tail end of that stat, active listings at month's end, might be the key here. I think maybe things have increased at the end of the month, so maybe that's why there's a big jump from month over month. So yeah, it's still really tough. And maybe anecdotally, let's get into that real quick before we go into the rest of the stats of like, I know for me, I'm still looking at, let's say, 10K, maybe 20K over asking price, as far as like putting in offers for my buyers. And some of them are still getting beat out because a lot of people are like putting in language for appraisal gap coverage language and things like that. So yeah, I don't think I'm the only one. So it seems to be really competitive right now.
No, I lost out on two offers last weekend. One was
Yeah.
50K over, and one
Mm.
was we went 10K over on another one with pretty minimal language as far as what we're going to be asking of them. And yeah, we got beat out on that. So it honestly, it's not just us trying to, and I feel like people that are working with me, they trust that I know what I'm talking about. And for this
Yeah.
one particularly, I was like please trust me. Like if you want this house, if you love it, then let's go hard.
Mm.
We need to be aggressive. You're having a lot of different people coming out right now with the nice weather on both the selling and buying side, and it's gonna be it's looking like hopefully not as crazy as last year, but I mean we are seeing some fairly competitive offers coming out, and
Yep.
people aren't trying to wait. People that
Yeah.
already are going, especially with that little drop we had in interest rates last week. Some people
Mhm.
were locking in low fives. I heard.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I had a couple FHA quotes at in the low fives or middle fives, low sixes,
Mhm.
um, and that fired people up. It's like okay,
Yeah.
you're seeing all this news that's going back and forth. Like rates could be 8, rates could be 5, and it's like, well, if it drops, then let's lock that in. And I think that's
Yeah.
been affecting things a lot for people.
Take advantage of whatever those rates
Yeah.
are at, like I know this has been like a common gospel preach that we've been saying like every month. It's like lock in the rate, date the rate, marry the house. So
Mm-hmm.
if you love the house, go all in. You can always refinance it later. You don't need to keep that interest rate for years on end. So yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and like another thing that I'm always preaching this as well is like, are you going to remember $5,000 difference in price or 10
Yeah.
even 10 years from now when you've been in this beautiful house, especially on our investing side where that house has made you a lot of money, allowed you some beautiful tax benefits and all
Mm.
the other things. Because yeah, this client specifically literally lost out over $2,000,
Wow.
and I was like, yeah, I was crushed as well. I was like, why? Yeah, why? Just
This didn't need to happen.
and it's not his fault, obviously, or mine either.
Yeah.
It's just that's just kind of the name of the game, and
Yeah.
but it does say a lot about this market. We need to
Yeah.
make things
Yeah.
happen.
And speaking of the market, some things that would like at least look interesting is the amount of closed homes that have happened, as of March, right? So looking at closed homes, about 3,800 closed homes happened in March, month over month, an increase of almost 33%. So 32% increase month over month, which is significant. So a lot more transactions happening as things start to heat up in the weather and in the market. Year over year, closed homes down still from 20% of April or March of 2022. So that's pretty interesting too. I mean, it was just, I feel like that was an anomaly. Like early 2022, it was just insane what was going on. And that was nationwide, not just in Colorado or Denver Metro, but it was happening everywhere across the country. So I don't know how much weight we could put on that year over year statistic, but I feel like month over month has a little bit more relevance and weight towards like what actually matters and what is true to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's going to take at least 5 years for some of the COVID averages to balance out a little bit and
Yeah.
make the numbers look more realistic.
Yep.
You know?
Hundo P. And then continuing down the line, looking at the close price, the median close price. We don't like to look at average just because there's some multi-million-dollar homes that skew that pretty heavily. But looking at the median close price, not too much of a difference, but month over month, about up 0.44%. Versus year over year, minus, like, it's gone down year over year, minus 6%, which is huge difference. I think like last year, it was almost like in the 600s, right? Like 600K for the median home price. That was crazy.
And so, I mean, another thing just to tack onto that as well is
Yeah.
that same person that bought that at 600, 620 at a 3% interest rate,
Mm.
unfortunately, is paying pretty similar to what they would right now at that 560 range, which I
Mm.
think that's probably affecting, that total close median price right now.
Yeah. 100%, man. Those interest rates do make a difference as far as your monthly payment goes. So I know a lot of my buyers. Yeah. But you can get creative with it, you know? I feel like with understanding how to, like, what I've learned in this business is that everything is negotiable. And that includes like seller credits. Where does that go to? You can have that go towards lowering your interest payments or interest rates, 2-1 buy downs. Yeah, everything is negotiable and almost everything is fair game. So with that being said, I know a lot of people are getting creative with a, let's say, $600,000 purchase price, but a 3% interest rate versus 565 home value at 7%. You know, so how do you make it work? How do you make those numbers work? Which is why we love house hacking and we do it ourselves. And just a really quick definition of that, it's like where you subsidize your mortgage by renting out rooms, renting out the garage, your yard, or whatever. It's a method of gaining income on your primary residence. So we just love making money.
Yeah. I guess would that be a good time to shout out our other series that we do, the deal analysis webinar?
Go for it, dude. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen that or followed yet, we're going to be starting a monthly deal analysis for the investors out there. We'll be going through deals, either the ones that we pick or you bring them to us. This will be the last Thursday of the month, right, Ian?
That's right. Third Thursday of the month.
Third Thursday, yep.
Yep. And so, yeah, we all have or both of us between me and Dan, like we have our own in-person meetups. Dan's up in the Longmont area, Oscar Blues. Definitely an excellent brewery. Good beer. I enjoy it. And then I'm over in the Aurora area, Comrade Brewing. I love the Superpower IPA. So we might be a little biased in terms of venue, but it's honestly a good time and it's very informal. I know with yours, well, mine in specific, it's like we're getting beers, we got pizza, we're chilling, and we're talking about real estate. You know, sounds like the same as yours, yeah. 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 Dude, these hustlers, 17-year-olds, man, imagine like that knowledge base, especially talking with other people that have like 400 doors, they're in the clear. They're making that runway so that they can take off like within years, you know? By the time they turn 18 where they can actually buy a property, they're golden. Freaking love
Now,
it.
this is another thing that I'm doing as well is the mentoring side. And he's my newest mentee now after that. And man, this kid's hustle is absolutely insane. Like, he's gonna be hitting the phones for me. Like, just yeah, the confidence level is crazy compared to what I was like at 17. And yeah, so just that's the power of meetups. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
you can be any age. I mean, 17 is probably a pretty good cutoff point for there, but just getting started and just getting around people that are doing it, you're gonna realize very quickly that most of us are actually very open to, you know, at least relaying as much information as you can to make it worth
Yeah.
it. So,
We love
yeah.
helping people out. I mean, and going back to the original meetup that you were talking about, Dan, it's like we have it online, it's all virtual, and it's free. Every third Thursday of the month, I just have a Zoom link that we all just gather around. I think we had about like 10-ish people last month. Just talking about real estate, and we brought in our own deals that we were analyzing and seeing what could work as far as like medium term rentals, long term rentals, short term rentals. What part of the Denver area is it? How much can you get per room and things like that. So we go over all that good stuff, especially if you wanted a house hack or invest in the Denver area or beyond. But yeah, big shout out. Want to make sure the numbers work for y'all. So that being said, the last statistic that I wanted to bring up is over in the close price over the list price. And to let you guys, or just as a reminder, the close price over list price. So for example, let's say you have a $600,000 home. If it's listed at $600,000 and the offer comes in at $600,000, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. That's 100%. So if it's lower than that, that means an offer came in lower than $600,000 or whatever that price was. If you got something over, then it's 101% or 100.5 or whatever that percentage is. It's over 100. So with this particular month, March 2023, the close price over list price ratio or percentage is 99.82. So we're still getting some offers under that list price. However, the ones that we're looking for, I don't necessarily think that's true. I'm
Yeah,
still saying
unfortunately
like
not.
at list price or above, but nonetheless, these are the stats. And maybe that has some sort of like bleed from like early March going into like late March. Cause I think that, I mean, I still want to say that like it was still hot, like pretty much the whole month. But I guess one more statistic is that like the prior month, it was 98.9%. And here we are at 99.82%. So almost a full percentage increase from month over month. So for example, if at $600,000, that 1% is a $6,000 difference, right? So that's just something to put some tangible numbers behind it. So I don't know if you, it sounds like you kind of agree with that too, Dan, where it's like, things are creeping up. And I think with those properties that are getting offers above asking price, that's definitely increasing this ratio or percentage.
Yeah, exactly. And again, yeah, this is out of the 3,700 homes, something like that closed.
Yeah.
99% essentially are going at least at asking price, which, statistically, that's giving you a good idea that pretty much every home is at least, unless there's something, there's those outliers out there that need a lot of work or, they weren't staged right or, just not presented the best. Those are the ones sticking around. Other than that, anything that is looking relatively good right now is, yeah, it's going.
Yeah. 100%. I
99%.
I do want to say the last statistic, I know I said that last time, but there is one more that I found pretty interesting is the sales volume. I thought that was really interesting too. With
Yeah.
the amount of closed homes that have happened, I think it's like an increase of almost 1,000 homes. Pretty significant sales volume increase as well. So over the past month, March of 2023, 2.5 million in sales happened. Versus February, 1.88-ish million has occurred. So things are moving, things are selling, and whether you like it or not, it's the market moves and it's starting to heat up.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. A couple of interesting pointers here. Again, Denver Metro Association of Realtors. Thank you so much to the Ruth team for even giving us these stats so that we can talk about this and sound like we're professional here. All we're doing is giving our anecdotal evidence and our introspective thoughts on these stat points. So huge thank you to the Ruth team and DMAR for setting this up.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to go through all these stats,
Yeah.
especially for us individual agents like that. it takes a lot of time just to run through these kind of things. So it's
Yeah.
super amazing that they put these reports out.
Hmm.
I mean, we do pay our dues to be part of these commissions and
Hmm.
organizations, but honestly, it's super big benefit and takes a lot of time off of our hands to be able to do stuff like this. So
Yep.
we can talk about it.
That's right. So, yeah, going with the market insights within DMAR, a stat that I found really interesting was that nationwide, new residential construction picked up due to builder optimism and lumber prices falling to pre pandemic numbers, with housing starts up 18.4% and permits up 13.8% month over month. Huge increase. And I feel like, what are houses made of? Lumber. And if they're not going to be affordable, if the supplies are expensive, then why build it, right? And not to put all of the inventory crises all on the construction of new inventory, but it definitely is a driver. More and more people are coming into Denver than out. It's not an exodus; it's the opposite of that, influx, something like that. So I
Yep.
thought that was a pretty interesting statistic, and we're seeing it everywhere. I know you were mentioning earlier, Dan, that like Longmont is finally completing a lot of their new constructions over there.
Yeah, honestly, just coming up like Highway 19 straight up from Denver or I-25, if you just look left and right, you're going to see three, four different developments. Erie's a big one as well. Multiple big complexes coming up there.
Yeah.
Longmont has three or four that I've literally watched be built since January. Um, Denver as well. Aurora's blowing up big time on the
Mm.
development side, right around Stanley Marketplace. If you've been through that area, which I know you have, but
Yep.
yeah, anywhere you look, you're seeing beautiful big apartment buildings. I guess depending on your perspective, beautiful, but you know, it's happening.
It's happening. I know a couple of my, or one of my clients bought a new construction, should be done in May or June. It's one of those like townhomes where it's like 3 levels, no basement, but I think it has a one-car garage or something like that, but it's like brand new. And they're pilots. Yeah, dude. It's like Green Valley Ranch area. So they're like hop, skip, and a jump to the airport. So they're digging it. They're loving the new construction. The fact that they don't have to worry too much about capital expenditures going forward is a huge plus for them.
Yeah, because do you know what kind of warranty they have like on major appliances and stuff like that? Typically, those
Yeah,
have some sort of program. So to me, that's awesome. Like I don't need
big
to worry
win.
about shit for the next 5 years
Yeah,
or however long
huge.
they're. Yeah,
And they were locking in like because this guy constructed or at least starting to construct I think it was like August or something like that. So that was like as rates were going up. So I think they locked in at like a 5% interest rate or 5.5. So crushing it, crushing. Another interesting stat that I saw was that let's talk about the boomers here.
mm. Shout out to
The
the boomers.
those boomers, man.
Yeah,
Baby boomers, the majority of which are repeat buyers with equity, now make up 39% of home buyers, which is up 10%, which surpasses the millennial demographic, which is now at 28%, who had held the top spot since 2014. So now millennials are second place to all these boomer buyers on the market right now. Pretty insane to me. And yeah, I don't know what you have to say about that, but I'll let you have your piece first, Dan. And I think there's a little piece of information here that I found super interesting and a testament to like own versus rent.
yeah. We were talking about this before we hit the record button again, and if you think about it, these people have potentially owned homes for 15, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, and what do they have that millennials don't? Equity already in a
Equity.
home.
Mm.
So it gives them the option. And another part we were talking about is as long as they've lived there to the last 5 years, they could sell that home up to 500K if they're married or 250 if they're single, and not pay any taxes on that. So that could allow, a lot of these boomers. Is that offensive to say boomers? I know some people take it a little differently, but either way, people that are what would that be like 45 to 50 something, 60s.
I think that might be Gen X.
Okay.
Like even
I'm not very
older
big
than
on the.
Yeah, even older than 60, I think are boomers. Yeah, like straight
Oh,
up retirement age. Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
there we go. So either way, yeah, they've been in the game a long time, and they're allowed
Yeah.
to, potentially make that equity work a lot more than somebody that's just, graduating, starting a new job with a good salary, but not any assets to kind of leverage. So
Yeah. You were mentioning something pretty interesting too, before we hit record, is that they're downsizing. If they're able to go from a house that's like 5 bed, 4 bath, and built up all this equity like over decades, and then all of a sudden go into, let's say, a 2 bed, 1 bath that's a ranch style home so that they don't need to go up and downstairs all the time. That's a lot of equity that they could transfer over to that place. Let's say if you're going from a 5 bed, 4 bath, and it's appreciated all that time, I'm assuming for that kind of stat line, you're looking at like 600K property, maybe even 700K. And so going from that to, let's say, a 2 bed, 2 bath or a 3-2, that's an easy transfer of wealth going into the next property, which means like maybe they don't care as much about the interest rates because they're just transferring all that wealth into the new property with a minimal loan size. So to be a little bit more clear, based on the loan amount and the interest rate at the time, because everyone's worried about interest rates. So
yeah,
that is a direct factor of how much you're paying monthly. So if you put more money down, your loan is less and you don't have to worry about interest rates at that point.
yeah.
So I think that a lot of these boomers are like, screw the interest rate. I don't really care about that. I just need to find a place to live that suits me and my spouse's needs or a significant other's needs. Crazy.
Even better, Ian, what they could do is turn that into a rental via talking to us and seeing your best possible numbers. Is it worth it to sell it, or is it worth it to turn it into a rental? Rent by the room,
Mm,
short term, medium term, and or talking to us about some creative financing ways to sell that and to get a paycheck for the next 5+ years and even
mm.
more than you're asking. Lots of
Because
different options for these people in this situation with a lot of equity is what I'm trying to get at.
100%.
Doesn't
Yes,
always
dude.
work for everybody, but like honestly, if you have a lot of equity, there's lots of different ways you can approach
Yep.
and calculate. Like literally have a pretty good idea of what the exact numbers are going to look like and how that's going to affect your taxes.
Hmm.
Do you need the income right now?
Hmm.
Or is this something that you could just sit on for the next 5 years and get a steady paycheck for doing nothing,
Yep.
but just
100%
being
agreed.
the person
Dude,
that owns the house?
yeah, dude, you brought up a really good point there that like if you have so much equity in this place and you're looking for a steady paycheck while you quit your job, if you're looking to quit your job, then someone could pay you like 3,000 a month, whatever that agreed amount is, and you can go into retirement knowing that you're going to get this steady paycheck for the next, I don't know, several years, well into your retirement. So, there's a lot of options for you. And Dan and I, like, we work with investors and we ourselves are creatively looking for these deals so that we don't have to deal with that 7% interest rate. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat in this real estate market. So, yeah, hit us up if you want to talk. Yeah. Last thing that I wanted to bring up about that bullet point is, yeah, the whole equity play. So for the longer you stay, like the majority of which are repeat buyers with equity, that statement right there in the bullet just made me really double down on like owning a property now and letting it ride over the course of 5-10 years. That is why they're able to afford that next home. And I think that's also why millennials are now not necessarily looking to buy, but they're probably sitting on the sidelines waiting for these interest rates to decrease. So a lot of my millennial friends, thumbs down for sure. And look at a lot of my millennial friends are like having kids, like they're still renting. And I know like for me back in San Diego, it was so normal to still live with your parents, like well into your 20s, well into your 30s, because no one can afford anything. So here we are in Colorado where it's a little bit more affordable, not too much, to be honest. But through house hacking and through gaining equity and starting that journey, you're able to set yourself up and be this boomer of like 2050. You could
Yeah,
be in a really good position 20 years from now.
seriously, and it's about a conversation too, because everybody's goals are different, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, what somebody's comfortable with is different from person to person, but there's usually always a way that you can make it work, especially if you are going to decide to be in this specific area, Denver, for example. Talk to people, talk to us, and see what your options are. And we can actually break the numbers down pretty good.
Yeah. And we could do that at our third Thursday deal analysis meetup. Come on down. It's free. Make sure you check it out. Outside of that, Dan, I feel like this is a pretty chill, report. I mean, it's not like there's nothing to report, but I feel like we've touched on the major situations here. One thing that I did want to bring up too is, and I made a video on this not too long ago, is Governor Polis is looking to end single family zoning laws or just single family zoning in general. So we're all like us as investors and house hackers, we're praying for this stuff. And we want this to happen, especially since like I did a quick search on like how many active listings, I think when I first made the video, like end of March, how many active listings had more than half an acre lot size. And I want to say there was like 500 active listings just within like actually all of Colorado, but like maybe it's a significant portion less in Denver. But it was insane how many actually has that capacity to have an ADU built in their backyard. So I think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm trying to learn the whole ADU situation, how fast we can move with the permits and all that good stuff. So really looking forward to that, in my opinion.
It's going to be a very long, slow road to make those kind of legislative changes happen, obviously, but something needs to happen. There's just not enough houses, you know?
And that's the thing too. Like we can build more houses, but where are they going to go? Are they going to go more east to Kansas and bridge that gap between Fort Collins or Colorado Springs? Like people don't necessarily work there. They work in the city or they work in more metropolitan areas. So what we need to do, and that's Polis's action, is that like, hey, we need to justify putting in more housing where work is, where public transportation is, and it's not going to be out in the boonies where these new constructions are, So we'll see.
Maybe we should schedule another special event on us just talking about some ADUs and, different stuff like this.
That'd be really
Good
cool.
idea.
Actually, I hit up
Force me to
that.
learn a little more too.
Yeah, dude, same here. I know very little about it right now, unfortunately. With that ADU guy on Instagram, he was on Bigger Pockets a couple times, and I know him and Craig go way back. I know he's here in town right now as of April 11th. He's going to be talking over at the Rocky Mountain Women's Invest Her meetup. So I know he's going to be in here a couple of days here in Denver. So I want to see if I can grab lunch with him or something. So
You should. Yeah, that
get him
sounds
on the
awesome.
podcast. That'd be sick. Yep. Well, good shit, man. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we jet?
I think quick summary, like you said, this month, interest rates are still obviously scaring people.
Yeah.
Up, down, who knows what's going to happen. I think it was like 6.2% today. Other than that, the market is going to get hotter unless something crazy happens. I think that's a pretty quick, easy summary of the market this month. And yeah, I guess we'll see what actual spring brings.
That's right. Those spring breaks have happened and people are back. So we'll see what's up. But outside of that, Dan, with your wealth of knowledge, you got to have it somewhere. How do people reach out to you and get in touch with that knowledge of yours?
Hit me up on Instagram at dan.guenther, REI. And same thing for Facebook, dan.guenther, REI.
Yeah. Make sure you hit him up, like DM him and say you want to be part of his newsletter. He sends one out every Friday, the Market Minute, and it's a wealth of knowledge within like a 4 or 5 minute read. So every Friday you can count on it, and you can definitely get a lot of good information from it every week. Yeah, dude.
Definitely come to our deal analysis webinars, even if you're not interested in investing. If you're just curious in the slightest bit of how easy it is. Again, we've been doing this for a couple years now, so we have different knowledge on that, but it's fun to see. I love to see the numbers. I love doing this with other people and, breaking down some barriers that people think they have as far as, accurately running deals. And then also, like we said, hit us up at our meetups. Come get some drinks, hang out, meet some really cool people. You know, you're gonna meet 17-year-olds, 60-year-olds. You're gonna meet all kinds of people in between that are, you know, just curious. And also, yeah, networking is the biggest key here.
That's right. 17 to 70-year-olds, they're all coming. It's sick. So with that being said, I am Ian.realestateagent on Instagram. I am House Hack in Denver YouTube channel. I recently changed the name of it and all that good stuff. So I want to make sure that you are well prepared and you can get to financial independence as soon as possible. I release a long form video every Tuesday. So really stoked to bring out that value. And then my meetup is over at Comrade Brewing every second Thursday of the month. So with that being said, thanks so much for hanging out, Dan. Cheers, man.